Adelphi University has gotten away with this civil injustice far too long. To hear so many stories from alumni, former staff, current students, and current staff is sickening. We're all disappointed. Somewhere down the line, many people have believed this movement is to destroy the university. That was never the case. We just want to be treated equally and with equity. Adelphi only accommodates the white male population and pushes the minorities to the side. We are important as well, and we will not be marginalized. Yesterday, we received an email about a firm coming in to investigate the different departments for any misconduct. The issue with that is that it is a waste of money, and when visiting the firm's page, I noticed that it's primarily composed of white people. To fix the issue at hand, we need minority workers to help with these problems. The best way to resolve an issue dealing with minority groups is to get someone who is affiliated with those groups and have experience with the situations themselves. The meager solutions that the university has came up to solve these problems are the bare minimum. Therefore, I will be providing a form or Google document for everyone to voice their concerns or different ways that we can tackle these issues on campus. After review from my peers and I, we're going to present these recommendations to the administration. The time to apply change means, the time period to apply a means of change will be from now until the mid-spring semester. If nothing is done by then, a second protest will occur. We have to keep pushing until change happens, and it will. With that being said, I'm going to allow two of my peers to voice their experience of the university, and once this is done, we shall proceed to the march, and that will be the end of this event. I want to thank you all for attending this protest, and it proves that when we band together, we can do magical things.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Teddy Ann Miles. My name is Teddy Ann Miles. I'm the president of Black Students United. I'm a nursing student, and I'm a senior here at Adelphi. If you look to my right, you'll see my poster. It says Students' Mental Health and Financial Stability Matters. I want to speak to my experience at Adelphi. So when I came here initially, my mentor, who works at Columbia University, helped me to draft a letter to financial aid, because once I received my financial aid, I realized it was a little bit too pricey and they weren't offering me enough aid based on my academics. I sent that out to the head of financial aid and multiple other persons, and I received an email merely saying, oh well, too bad, just to reword it. We can't basically support you. 2 years later, which is now, after Javarius came out with his story and the financial difficulties he was facing due to the hurricane that happened in his hometown, I said, Javarius is bringing, everybody's attention back to what the university does to a lot of students, not just black and brown, but people of low income. And I fall into that. I'm a woman, I'm black, and I don't have much money, just like anybody else who go to Adelphi. A lot of people go to Adelphi here. Most of their parents have money to support them to come to school. With that being said, I asked Adelphi if they have an HEOP program, something to support students who wouldn't have the means to come here. This way we can have and support diversity, and that meaning the financial aspect of it. And they said no. I said, okay. So I'm trying to figure out how can I attend this university without putting my family in a huge strain. That's why I reached out to financial aid already. Just to bring y'all back, in 2016, I applied to Adelphi and got accepted straight out of high school. I didn't come simply because of financial difficulties. So in 2019, when I came here, I just sucked it up and said, you know what, they're not gonna give me no extra funds, it's all right. When Javarius came out with his story, I said, let me try this again. So I sent out a second email and I said, hey, this is Teddy Ann. I CC'd my mentor from Columbia University along with the first email that I sent 2 years ago and said, I'm just concerned about equity at this point, not equality. We're equal, we can say that, but it's not equitable. If you know what equity means, you're gonna try to, all right, me as a black woman from Queens, I'm also an immigrant who immigrated from Jamaica, West Indies. My family don't have the money. Equity would support me to the point where I can have an equal opportunity as everyone else, not just to put me next to everybody else and say, okay, I accept you in the university and that's it. You're supposed to support me with more resources so that I can have a plain, so that me and everyone else who's competing can compete at the same line. that way I'm not behind anyone else. When I emailed financial aids, they didn't even respond to my email, honestly. They called me. Someone financial aid called me. I was so surprised because they called me in the middle of my Zoom class, and I was like, financial aid is calling me. Let me answer. I answered. The lady goes, hey, is this Teddy Ann? I said, yes. She said, oh, I got your email, and I just want to follow up with you about your experience at Adelphi. And I felt like because Javarius opened this gate for us, everyone is now listening. Everyone wants to hear now. But I've been saying this ever since I got to Adelphi. I've been saying I needed help ever since I got to Adelphi. I reached out to a lot of people ever since I got to Adelphi. I applied to the Jaguar community program that they have just to get me a little extra funds over the summer. This way I'm not on the streets in the summer where a lot of violence happened in my community. And I didn't get that position that year, but I applied to a lot of things here. I don't know if you guys know, I'm also Adelphi Spirit Corps for 2020. So I did well pretty much for my academics, but it's like financially I needed the extra help, and Adelphi did not support me until Javarius came out with his story. And when I hinted at that and say, I'm concerned about your diversity and equity that you speak about all the time, that's when nobody didn't text me back, email me back, they called me. I got a personal phone call from financial aid. Financial aid, if you don't know, is very hard to reach. The fact that they reached out to me, I was so shocked. And guess what? A week later, Adelphi gave me $3,000. The same money that they say they did not have when I applied 2 years ago. And I'll end it as that. Thank you very much for hearing me. Woo.
Thank you, Teddy Ann and Javarius, for sharing your stories and your words. I'm going to start off my speech asking everyone to close their eyes for a second and to follow my words. Feel the silence in the air around you and beating of your heart filling it. Every beat has this underlying sense of pain, but you don't know why. Every breath has this sense of uneasiness, but you don't know why. Every time you feel someone else's silence getting close to yours, there's a sense of danger, but you don't know why. Every time you write your name, there's a sense of pride, but for some reason, there's still always some nervous energy in the paper. But you don't know why. This is just scratching the surface of what it feels like to be a student of color, student with a disability, a student who is a victim of sexual assault, and a student who identifies as LGBTQ at Adelphi in 2020. You can open your eyes now. My name is Cheyenne Moore. I attended Adelphi from 2017 to 2019, and I left for the exact reasons that we are here today. As a Black woman, I have never been more disrespected and unheard than I have been while attending this university. Countless of times I have been stopped by public safety officers when returning back to campus late nights. Countless of times I have heard a racial slur said from many of my white peers. There is no reason for a university in 2020 to show racism while excluding students based on who they love or challenges they face. Why are there over 20 sexual assault reports within the past year that have been ignored or simply thrown out? All of them are given the simple response of, there's nothing more we can do. Students should not have to fear walking on this campus. Students should not be afraid to be themselves. Students should not be punished for standing up for themselves and their rights. I am tired of this ignorance throughout this campus. I am tired of the excuses being made for said ignorance. You tell us they practice diversity and exclusiveness, but nothing has changed. Why are there alumni with the same stories as current students? Where is the change? The fact that we have to come together to bring awareness of this ignorance is appalling, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's ignorance and choice. The administration and staff at this university are choosing to be ignorant and choosing not to enforce change in policy. You say we are all welcome here, but that is not true. You only want us when it's time to promote diversity on this campus. You only want us on your basketball, soccer teams, track teams. You only want us on your flyers and websites for your events that you hold on campus. Face value. You don't value us as human beings for who we are on the inside. You don't value our lives or our education. And until there is a real change at Adelphi University, students will unite. we cannot stop fighting for what we know is right. Thank you.